There's an incident in
Who's in
turn
the wheel
2.
in Daytona prototype that just fucking shoved right into me when I was coming out of
Left.
28, that was my fault. I'm sorry about that. I didn't know that you were coming out
Clear to your left.
Yeah, pay the fuck attention, you fucking idiot.
I'm sorry about that. I had another car on the right. I'm sorry about that. That was my fault.
Yeah, it was. Jesus frickin' Christ. Had two people run into the back of me out braking themselves, driving over aggressive. Two frickin' people in faster classes off the pace holding me up when I'm in the class lead. And now that fucking bullshit.
Barrett, shut the fuck up, man. I'm sick and tired of hearing you. Okay? I don't know if you know who you're talking to, but shut the hell up, okay?
Battling with GT3 class leaders, being a fucking moron. And you ran into the back of me under braking. Overdriving your car.
You're gonna pick Malcolm up?
Alright, just chill out. Look after the rest of their people. Yeah.
No, I'm just getting fucking tired of this shit, dude. You pay for this fucking service. I just got taken out of the 8500 earlier this morning.
Stop! I can't drive!
Timo, come on,
Not
track
holding your
limits.
line and moving across the track. Learn how to fucking drive before you get on this service and fuck up other people's race that they pay to enjoy. Seriously, people.
Guys, stop! I can't drive!
Wanna do that move, Miguel? Are you?
Heads
Oh
up,
no,
there's
I
a
can
car
definitely
rejoining.
fucking drive. I got paid to go to England and compete for a factory contract with
Oh!
Nissan. So y'all motherfuckers
P10.
can shut the fuck up because I know what I'm talking about. I know how to fucking drive and how to fucking race.
Car to your
It's
left.
not my problem. This service is full of fucking
Lead
idiots.
on the left.
Seriously, fucking amateur hour in here.
Barrett, you know what the problem is?
Oh no!
You're driving a multi-class
No!
race, and you're driving the thing like you are in your own race. You are in your own race.
It's never good when somebody
out of the
starts
car,
a
get
sentence
out
like
of
that.
the
You
car,
know
get
what
out
the
fast.
problem
All
is.
you have to do is have to lift a little bit sooner, and I would go by and leave you guys to race. But all you guys did was rock. Okay? So don't talk to me like I was some stupid.
There gotta be sound effects in this.
No, Miguel, you're
A faster class never supposed to hold up all the time.
never having a car and making mistakes and then falling back behind us. I gave you
Okay,
plenty
Timo,
of
don't let
opportunities
this
to
guy
go
distract
around and get a fucking move on. I even came on the radio and told you to either get the fuck out of the way or get a move on. Second of all, you're in 15th place in a faster class, battling GT3 leaders.
Yes.
You're getting yourself involved in a race you don't need to be in when you're way off the pace.
Looks
It's a
like
thing
P4
called
has been dead
racing
in
etiquette
turn 1.
and courtesy. Both you have neither of them.
Yes, look, I
Car to your
understand
right.
that.
You're clear right. This is great. Come on, keep nailing those exits.
Yeah,
I think
that
P4's
feels
gone
like a
off in
fucking
turn 2,
overall
P3.
My God.
Good consistency.
I was
Keep them
hand-selected
coming.
by Boris Said and Danny Sullivan to go compete for a factory racing contract with Nissan at Silverstone. So you can shut the fuck up.
You're clear left.
I'm a real racer, bruh.
I don't care
Can
if
I
you
just
don't
stop
care.
the
I'm
car,
telling you what my
guys,
background
and
and what my
enjoy this?
credentials are. You're questioning my fucking
Who cares
driving.
about safety and
New gloves.
Fucking morons on the service that don't know racing etiquette
This guy needs a hug.
or that pay attention.
Or anger management, one or the other.
Of course, it's not you. It's always the other city.
Oh, Tim is triggering him!
Come on, we need to get in front of this guy.
Hit in the back twice under braking, and I got taken out by a Daytona prototype swerving into me when I was coming out of the pits. Don't think any of those are my fucking fault. That's from other people overdriving their cars and not paying attention.
I'm surprised I still can race
But
this.
I
Like,
think you could be more of a respectful man and just let the
Uh-oh.
guys drive.
oh,
That what?
I'm respectful in my driving. Like I said, I lifted to let Miguel go around multiple times. Other people aren't respectful when they overdrive their cars and fucking use other people as a barricade to slow down and just don't fucking pay attention, just ruin other people's races. I'm gonna take a hit in IR and safety rating because everybody was just driving fucking stupid.
I can't
got
start
disqualified
attacking
because
those
I got
guys
so
while
many
they are
incidents with
talking.
other
I'm just
people
gonna,
hitting
like,
me.
make a
Tell me how
silly
that's my
mistake.
fucking fault.
But I can tell you that with every incident, there is a possibility you could have avoided it. And now please shut your mouth and let the people concentrate in
On a prototype swerving into my door in my blind spot when I'm exiting the pit.
I once heard somebody saying, if you're in a
Don't be
crash,
intimidated.
you're
Keep him
always
behind you.
50% responsible because you've chosen to come on a track with him.
I bet you'll a left foot brake on your way to the supermarket. That's actually a good point. I wonder how many people do that. Do yourself a favor and calm down. I mean, I get mad, man, in the moment, but 10 minutes goes by and I'm already over it. So much anger over a single race, dude. Unreal. We need more matchmaking. Yeah, please. Assetto Corsa. Yeah. Ah, man. Until they put matchmaking in it, I'm never gonna bother with Assetto Corsa. I know some of you guys might be disappointed by that, but I'm not gonna bother buying Assetto Corsa unless they get matchmaking in it of sorts. I just don't care about it. I don't care about career mode or hot lapping. I don't give a shit about that. It's 2019, man. Get it together. I think the biggest I've talked about this before, but these days, like when you're developing a game and like in today's like 2019 or 2020, your first #1 goal should be to develop a proper multiplayer. Forget everything else. First think of how you're gonna build a game around a solid multiplayer, because that's the only thing that's gonna keep your game alive for a long time. That's it. And then the rest, you can do whatever. But obviously you have to start with the basics, have a physics engine or whatever, driving engine, tire model, blah blah blah. I just think multiplayer gets overlooked way too many times by other developers. There's just so much potential that's just been wasted over the years. Unreal Engine for the win. iRacing, I personally, my #1 thing, well, two things that I would remove from iRacing. DQ system, and I would make iRating and SR hidden. So you can't actually see the value, but you can still kind of tell how good of a driver you are by the car number. So the car number tells you basically how much of a iRating you are roughly, but remove completely the number of iRating and SR. Just take the number out completely. And then same for the safety. What I would put is, I read this on forums. This is one of the great ideas that someone had. I thought it was amazing. And then for the safety rating, let's say if you're an A license, just put a minus or nothing or plus. So if you're plus, that means your safety rating is quite high. If you're minus, that means you should improve it. So it just gives you kind of a rough idea where your safety rating is. And just hide those numbers completely. I think a lot of people get boggled by just seeing those numbers constantly. And then a lot of people don't join races because of their iRating, because they're like too afraid. Or same with the safety rating, they'll see their safety, being like quite close to like getting demoted, and then they won't even join the race, and then the participation suffers and all that stuff. So I think those numbers have a huge effect on just participation in general, and I would just hide them altogether. I mean, leave it in the system, just hide it. Simple as that. I mean, it might not work, but and the DQ system, to me, I know a lot of people prefer the DQ system, but I'm totally against that stuff. But I don't want to go into it again because I've talked about it like a million times. You can watch Matt Orr's video on DQ system. He pretty much basically hits all the points that I totally agree with about the DQ system. I think it's stupid.
Sector 2 is 0.30 off the pace.
But yeah, like I think those two numbers, I would just hide them. It has a huge influence on people's signups and trying to sign up for races.